Hello everyone, my name is Snowy, and this is my first video on YouTube. I'm super excited to talk to y'all about different things, and today, we're gonna talk about my favorite character from Security Breach. You read the title, you know where this is going. I'm gonna prove to you all that my sweet baby boy Monty did not kill Bonnie, and if you think he did, then you're just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, but are staying around anyways, Monty Gator is an animatronic alligator who plays the bass in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. There are two parts of the Freddy fandom, those who believe Monty is a murderer, and those who rally behind our radiant reptile. And I'll be damned if I allow this Monty slander to continue. Just a side note, I'm just kidding, and everyone can have their own opinions, even if they are incredibly wrong. Now, it's time to get into the debate. We're going to touch up on 3 points I have to prove my point. Let's go. Point number 1, Monty's claws. A big talking point about Monty tearing up Bonnie is Monty's claws. Some say that the only thing that would do the damage shown to Bonnie's body is Monty's claws, which is very interesting. Because Monty didn't have his claws yet! That's right. If you look at the logs in Security Breach, you'll see that Monty only got upgraded after Bonnie went missing. Understudy states that they would give him the proper adjustments to play the bass. And in the Monty upgrade log, it states that the claws he uses to cause damage around the Pizzaplex are specifically installed for him to play the bass. Therefore, there is no way Monty could have had claws at the time to cause the damage we see on Bonnie's body. Point 2. Skipping performances. Moving on, the biggest talking point when theorists started discussing Bonnie's murder is that Monty was the one who took his spot, so he would have the most motive to take him out. Everyone will also point to the Monty golfing minigame, where we see Freddy in the trash, while Monty is center stage with Chica and Roxy behind him. But did Monty want to take Bonnie's spot? Whether you believe these robots are possessed or just highly advanced technology in them, it doesn't matter, because both cases would lead us to the same conclusion. No. We can look to the Monty Mischief log to see that Monty was skipping performances on the Reggie, and always disappears to the catwalks above Gator Golf. Why would someone kill another for their position, but then not show up to fill in that role? That's like killing your rich grandfather to take all his money, but then never claiming any of the money from the will. The sense is not making at all. Point 3. Monty's aggression. Now, everyone knows that Monty has always been depicted as a violent and temperamental character who takes out his anger on everything around him. Because of this, he's the easy one to point to when a violent incident occurs. Murder. Let me read you this excerpt from The Storyteller, a book from Tales from the Pizzaplex. Montgomery Gator exhibited disturbing changes. The alligator featured in the Monty Gator Golf. The quintessential rock star with a red mohawk, star-shaped sunglasses, and purple
Sheridan Poltroons.
Monty was a performing gator who is all about being a rock and roller, prone to smashing things as part of his extravagant image. Monty was always dramatic, but he had been harmless, at least until the storytellers started messing with him. Now the gator was turning into a sulky shadow of his former self. Monty's rampages became more violent, and in between tantrums, he withdrew into a depressive silence. It was actually driving children to tears. A lot of people take the Pizzaplex books as 100% canon, and while I don't entirely agree with that, I do agree that the books have a lot of overlap with the main story of the games. For example, in Secret of the Mimic, a lot of the ideas established in the Pizzaplex books were confirmed and expanded upon. However, there are a few differences, like how Edwin and David lived in the mansion beside the factory instead of just an old warehouse, and where David's mother didn't die during childbirth. This is to say, we can see that a lot of the inspiration for the game lore is taken from the tales from the Pizzaplex books. So the fact that they take the time to establish Monty, alongside the other characters, as harmless says a lot. But what if he killed Bonnie after the changes from the harmlessness to violent? You may ask. Well, as we established before, Monty wasn't made a part of the band until the missing Bonnie incident, and he wasn't upgraded with his claws yet. Not to mention, Bonnie is never mentioned in the storyteller book, pushing the idea that he had already went missing. This also answers the question of why Monty's golfing minigame would show him jealous of Freddy, but before skipping the performances. So now, we got an innocent, goofy alligator who has no aggression and no reason to harm our boy Bonnie. Conclusion. Alright, now that we've got all our pieces established, let's put them together. Allow me to paint you a scene. We have a beautiful, burly alligator animatronic who ran the golfing center in the Pizzaplex. One day, another animatronic went missing. One of his good friends, the one who ran the bowling center, Bonnie. While still grieving Bonnie's disappearance, he's quickly made to take Bonnie's spot in the band, and is upgraded with the same claws his friend had before him. Monty is upset and disturbed by this, but what is he supposed to do? He's just a robot under the control of Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment. He was a little dramatic and smashed his bass at the end of performances to have that classic rock and roll vibe. He never caused any real damage though. He would have rough days where all he could think of is his lost friend, the friend he was made to replace. The claws permanently attached to him was a constant reminder of that. He would abandon performances, going up to the catwalk above Monty Golf. He had gotten hurt there once before, but he would take the risk, just to get some alone time. Maybe he had met Bonnie on the catwalks before. Maybe it was the last place they met before Bonnie went missing. And that's the tragic story of Monty and Bonnie. My personal headcanon of what happened between them. Star-crossed friends, destined to be torn apart. But wait, you may say, if Monty didn't kill Bonnie, then who did? Well, I do have an answer to that. The fiend who tore these two apart and forever tainted Monty's name. But I'll have to wait till the next video to reveal and explain that. So until next time, this was Snowy, and I hope you have a sunshiny day. Kisses to you all. Oh yeah, and by the way, subscribe if you want to see more shenanigans later on. Bye bye!